Om Kayena vacha manasyendrayirva bhutyatmanava prakriti swabhava karomi adyat sakalam paresma narayanayethi samarpayami Narayanayethi samarpayami.
Dear Seeker of Truth, welcome. This is a very auspicious moment. We are going to talk about Bhakti. Bhakti, divine love. So we are going to talk about Bhakti as the essence of all spiritual paths, as the soul of all spiritual paths, and also as a path in itself, Bhakti Yoga. So this is a work made by sage Shandilya, the Shandilya Bhakti Sutras. Not much is known about this Shandilya, only that he was a sage, a God-realized being that gone through many other philosophies and finally got to the nectar-like Bhakti as the soul of it all. So sage Shandilya had a very intellectual approach also. He was concerned about getting from the different authorities, the different scriptures, the validity, the importance of Bhakti as a spiritual path. So he gathered that all and shared it. So may you all find divine love in your hearts. May you all be blessed by this auspiciousness. May you all find God. Moving on, Shandilya Bhakti Sutras, Sutra 69, Part 5. So we have covered extensively the Namaparadas and some Seva Paradas. There are many more, but I've just took those that are more useful in some way, and those who are curious, they can look for the others. Now, this is about maintaining the utmost humility and sacredness. The deeper the sacredness, the less the possibility of committing these offenses, because sacredness will, when it is strong in your heart, will guide you in such a way that you are not able to commit these offenses. So the saints and scriptures ordain that we should chant the holy name without committing these offenses. The only way we can chant without offending is to be more humble than a blade of grass. However, if we can really put this into practice, Shrinam Prabhu, the holy name, God, will certainly grace us with his bounties and we shall feel blessed. And this will happen extremely quickly, because it is the only thing which is preventing the power of the holy name is the offenses. As you remove them, blessings come real quickly. So the Padma Puran has stated, we can annihilate Namaparada by resorting to chanting alone. We should chant without resting for a single moment. Then we can destroy Namaparada. So the way to destroy these offenses to the divine name is to chant the divine name without stopping, chanting every moment without wasting one fraction of a second. This is the way to destroy the Namaparadas. However, if we offend a sadhu, then we have to beg him to forgive us. When he is pleased, our aparada is destroyed. So it goes both ways. When the sadhu is pleased, our aparada is destroyed. But the same goes like when our aparada is destroyed, the sadhu becomes pleased. So it is not just when he becomes pleased that the aparada is destroyed. He becomes pleased because the aparada is destroyed. So if you're trying to please that one that you have offended, a sadhu, a saint, a sage, a guru, whoever it is, a fellow devotee, a fellow seeker, then understand that a fellow seeker maybe doesn't fall into this category, but only the category of saints, because they are connected to this. So only when they are pleased that it means that that aparada has been destroyed, and that's why they are pleased, not because of personal interactions. The offender, having set aflame his spiritual life with blasphemy, must be purified in the fire of contrition, the fire of regret, of intense regret. This is what purifies. And it is this intense regret, if it is sincere, that will lead you to try to satisfy, to apologize, and try to satisfy that sadhu. And it's by being in that fire, and if it's not real, it doesn't solve anything, that these aparadas are burned. The offender must go and fall at the feet of the devotee he reviled and beg forgiveness until he is again able to please that devotee. He must approach the devotee with trepidation in his heart. That by pleading, praising, offering repeated obeisance, or by any means, he must satisfy the devotee, the sadhu. This is the level of the spirit of the regret that is needed to satisfy that sadhu, to burn away that namaparada. And if you're too filled with pride, you cannot reach this level of regret. Therefore, you cannot counter any of this. But this is the way. What happens if we are unable to please him? Then we chant all day and night, and then it will be possible to wipe out that offense. We can burn the other offenses by repeating and chanting incessantly. But I have to make a point here that if we are not able to please them after we have gone through all of those stages that I've mentioned previously, all that fire of contrition, all those praising, pleading, asking for forgiveness from that sadhu, if that doesn't work, well, you just have to resort to chanting. It will take long, but it will help. But if you continue the prior, it is faster. So don't delude yourself. We may ask, I have not committed a single offense, and I'm chanting with respect. Then how come Sri Nam Prabhu, the holy name, is not showering his blessings on me? Because some don't even know. And well, if you have listened to all these prior videos about Namaparadas, it will be difficult for you to have doubts if you have committed them or not. But if it is there, those doubts, the answer to this query is the same, aparada. There is nothing to stop the grace of the holy name other than offensive chanting and existing offenses. So even if just because you don't know, it doesn't mean that it isn't there. And you can see this by chanting the holy name, what happens? Although knowingly we do not commit an offense, it is true, but still we cannot proclaim to be completely free of aparadha. We cannot guarantee that we do not have any offense collected over the past lives. Also, we do commit offenses unwittingly, or do we not? However, there is one solid way we can discern whether or not we have offenses. We chant a lot of times. We should peep into our hearts. Am I feeling joyous? Have I got tears and goose flesh? The answer is no. Then we should accept that offenses have made our hearts rock hard. So, if you see that your heart is hard, there's no emotions flowing with the mantra, with the name of God, if you're not flying into the skies of bliss, then aparadhas are there for sure. In spite of chanting many times, when praying does not appear in our hearts, it is a pure sign of namaparada, praying divine love. When we chant repeatedly, yet our hearts does not melt with devotion, it is expressed by tears. It is expressed by tears, goose flesh, and other symptoms of bhav, of devotion. Such a heart is hard like iron. It is a sign of namaparada. So it is letting things be quite clear about how to see if there is aparadhas or not. Also, we cannot say that if one displays tears and goose flesh, his heart has melted. For some people who have unstable emotions to express such tears and other symptoms without possessing any bhav, any devotion. They can do this with practice as well. The reverse is also true. Some serious devotees do not express any sign of ecstasy, although their chitta is full of bhakti. So this is to say that it's not about observing others, it's about observing yourself, because there's no way to be sure, and no point also. So, but you can look with sincerity in your own heart and understand what is your present condition. And for what I've seen, especially here in the West, committing offenses is like breathing, and people are not aware of it, but still it is what happens. Morals have been corrupted, and it is natural, very natural. So it's not about having or not having aparadhas, but how to remove them. So by repentance, by asking forgiveness to whomever is due, and to strive to destroy these aparadhas by chanting the holy name. Asking God, saints, all of them for help, and work hard. Because when it is cleansed, then the blessings of the divine name will be there for sure. So this part that I've read is that despite symptoms, they don't say much. They can say something, but not much, because they can be practiced, they can be developed also. And if the person has unstable emotions, then it will just very easily be moved, be touched, but it's because of that instability of emotions. Even though one displays tears and goose flesh externally, if he does not have a heart that has melted with devotion, it means his heart is rock hard. Although tears and goose flesh are the common symptoms of a change of heart, we should know that the real indications are the 9 symptoms, such as forbearance, spending every moment in relation with Sri Bhagavan, the others that have been mentioned prior. So if the person is full of tears and still is engaging in worldly activities, then not yet. By chanting the holy name, we can be purified from all offenses. But if we take that and think that we can continue with offenses and chanting at the same time, then even if one performs innumerable penances or sufferings in hell, we will not get one rid of these offenses, because this is even a worse stage. Nothing burns these offenses if not sincerity. And sincerity is progressive, because you may be sincere now, but as the difficulty starts, as the price for that offense starts, and you give up, then that wasn't really sincerity. So sincerity is that which passes the test of time, and sincerity, in this case of the Namaparadas, of the repentance, is that which rises that scorching fire. So it's not just, oh, I'm sorry. It's a repentance that is scorching you from within. And this is really repentance. And this is what burns Namaparadas and satisfies the saints, the sages, the rishis, the gurus, the enlightened ones. Here is a dialogue between Sri Narada Muni and Sri Sanat Kumar. Sri Narada Muni said, "O Gurudev, Sanat Kumar, please enlighten me about the various offenses that one can be committed against the holy name of the Lord." Chanting the holy name of the Lord is certainly the principal duty of the living entity. Please tell me about the offenses that rob the living entity of this chief duty. So not only of the fruits of that duty, but also from being able to chant the divine name. Sri Narada Muni continues. Offenses make one take to the chanting of the holy name as a mundane activity and waste this auspicious practice for trivial, mundane results. Worldly desires, if kept asunder, the chanting will drag you to them. If not abandoned, then the chanting goes with offenses. So this is important. So if worldly desires are maintained, the chanting will drag you to them. It's like the name is saying, you're not presentable yet. So that is what you want, go to that. And for some this is good because, well, desires are being realized, but it's not because you're being entrapped more into samsara. So you're losing the greatest treasure for crumbs. So it will drag you to those desires, and the chanting goes with offenses. Example. If you desire a relationship and you don't relinquish that desire, and chant with offense, then only worldly fruits come out of it. A relationship comes the same type of the character story, but you're dragged to it. What does this mean? It means that, well, if you still want a human relationship and you're chanting the holy name, but you're saying that you want liberation, or, for example, you have been already initiated to the holy name and supposedly let go of all those desires, and you chant the name, but you keep that desire. So eventually that chanting will drag you to that relationship, to a relationship that you were desiring. But it will be the same type of relationship that fits the character, the illusory you, story. Nothing new, the same. It can appear to be new. Of course, it always comes in a different, but it will be the same thing. Then if those offenses remain unattended, then you are left in the world and even convinced that it's what you want. So, if you continue to chant with offenses, then you are more deep into worldliness, into the world, and convinced that that is what you want. But you are more far and more far away from God. But even this is a blessing from God, because you cannot receive anything else. So He's giving you a blessing of the distance so that you can awake from that slumber and the pain of separation can help you. The worst consequence, even if not realized, is the distance from God. Probably, surely, that is the mother of all sufferings. That without knowing that this is the highest suffering, these sufferings are lived in different circumstances to awake you to the absence of God, which is the embodiment of bliss that everybody misses, but not all knows that it is God they are missing and seeking. That hurts the soul tremendously. The rest hurts the body, mind, and the emotions. So in the next, we'll go to Sanat Kumara's reply.
Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhushka sakha tvameva, tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva.